Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be going through and replacing basically everything that has to do with the serpentine belt. So serpentine belt, I have the new tensioner, and then I have the 3 idler pulleys. There is 1 smooth and 2 grooved. The 2 grooved are the exact same size, it's just one box is a little bit bigger for some reason. But other than that, should just need a basic socket set. I'm going to try using these crow's feet to torque down the tensioner because it can be kind of a pain because it's kind of tight. And obviously we're going to need a torque wrench. To get started, to get the car off the ground, which mine already is, I'm going to pop the hood and we can get started. Alright, before I get started actually removing the serpentine belt and all of its components that I'm going to be replacing today, I'm going to be not completely removing, but just moving this overflow tank out of the way. I'm not going to be disconnecting any lines. So there's this line that comes up to here to the top, and then this line right here, this middle one, is just like an overflow. It goes straight to the ground. And then this line right here goes to the bottom. Sorry, I don't know if you want to see it. So this line right here comes from the bottom of that overflow tank, runs along and goes into, I believe, the hard line right there. I'm not sure there's any fluid in there. I'm not going to run the risk, so I'm not going to disconnect it. Alright, so I have the reservoir kind of like held up with this bungee cord, and now I'm going to undo the tension on the tensioner so I can remove the belt, and then after that I can start removing the pulleys. On the tensioner, there is these little lobes. So there's one here, one here. As you're undoing the tension, you can stick something through there and kind of hold it in place. I'm not really going to worry about that because once I undo the tension and remove one part of the belt off of one of these pulleys, that should be all I have to worry about. But I'm going to remove the belt and come back to y'all. Okay, so I have the belts removed, and here are the pulleys. It's, like I said, 1, 2, and then 3. So 2 grooved, 1 smooth. I'm not sure if these have ever been replaced. If not, these have 130,000 miles on them, so that's why I'm replacing everything. But those are just 14 millimeters, so I'm going to go ahead and remove those, and then we can start on the tensioner itself. Okay, so here are the pulleys, the 3 pulleys removed, and on each one they have these little locking tabs. That little black thing, it prevents the bolt from falling out. I'm going to remove all those and reuse them on new pulleys, but just the FYI, they have those. And once those are removed, now we can start focusing on the tensioner. And I believe that's also a 14. If it's not, I will come back and let you know. Okay, in the process of removing as little as possible, I tried using the crow's foot to break the bolt holding the tensioner loose, and in doing so broke my cheap Harbor Freight crow's feet. But it's okay because I found another solution. The radiator here and over here, it's held on by 2 bolts. If you undo those 2 bolts, you can lift the radiator up and then you can drop it down just a little bit, and it gives you enough room to get an actual socket and a ratchet in there to do the job properly, instead of trying to double wrench it or use a crow's foot like I did. So that's what I did. I just removed those 2 bolts, dropped that, not the radiator, the radiator fan. I dropped that down just a little bit and was able to get it off. But the bolt is pretty corroded. I'm going to go over this with a brush, clean it off, put some anti-seize on it or something to try to prevent this from happening in the future. Here is an underside of what I was talking about with the radiator kind of only being held by those 2 bolts. So this and this go up inside here and here. So once you remove those 2 bolts on the top side, you lift up, removing this tab from the holding spot, and it'll give you an inch or 2 room. But I'm gonna put it back, obviously. So Alright, so it's an hour or so later. I actually ended up going to the dealership and just buying a new bolt for the tensioner itself. But anyways, so these groove pulleys do look a bit different than the ones I pulled off the car. They used to work just fine. What I did is I removed this little retaining clip by just unthreading it off the bolt. That comes off, and then there was this black piece and here, so, and it was right here with the bolt going in this way, and on the back right here was this piece, right here. So I put this piece on the new pulley, put the retaining clip on it, and that should be good. So the new groove pulleys just reused the bolts, and then the smooth pulley came with the bolt pre-installed and it's a different size, which is a bit annoying, but it's fine because I don't have to reuse hardware. But that aside, we should be good to start installing the new stuff. So pulleys are ready, and I just need to pull out the tensioner itself and start installing that. Now, on the tensioner, I'll show you on the old one. There is this little protrusion sticking out of it, and in the engine itself, from where you removed it, there's a spot for this, so it lines up perfectly as you're tightening it. You want to make sure that goes in there. That way, you know, it works the way it's intended to. But once it's in there, we can start torquing things down. Here we are, everything is kind of loose installed right now. You have the tensioner right here, loose installed, the two pulleys, the two groove pulleys, and then the one smooth pulley, all loose installed. The torque specs for the pulleys are going to be 21 foot-pounds, and then the tensioner itself is going to be 41 foot-pounds. I'm gonna go ahead and torque those down, and then we can start putting everything back. Everything is torqued down. Now the last step is just to reinstall the new belt. And here is a diagram of how the belt should be routed. I'm going to go ahead and route the new belt, and after that, we should be good to start the car. All right, everything is put back. Belt is on. Reservoir is back, tightened down. Everything is on, good to go. Now, it's just a matter of starting the car. Oh. I'm gonna put it in accessory mode first. Make sure I'm in neutral. And I am. Start this bad boy up. Perfect. All right. Everything worked out good. Everything's done the way it should be. I hope this video is helpful to you guys. I hope it's able to help you get the project done easier and properly, because I have seen some people just not able to get to that tensioner bolt, so they just kind of tighten it down nice and snug, which it may work. It may just be just fine, but I like trying to do things properly just for ease of mind. But anyways, guys, that's all for the video. I hope it's helpful to you guys. Stay safe, drive safe, and have a good one, guys.